Rassie, Rudy here from Forever Sports.
Hi.
How excited are you to have Pieter-Steph back at number 7?
Well, very excited. Wouldn't forget that you have a World Player of the Year. Um, when you get him back and you see him training, which he's done the last 2.5, 3 weeks with us, you realize the quality that he has. And we're not excited for him to play for us on Saturday, but also for the other guys to have him there to learn from him. So yeah, he's been great. He could have easily been also captain in this game, but he hasn't played for a really long time. So very excited, along with a few others that also returning from injury and those kind of things.
So,
Nice to tell you.
So,
Just looking at the team, obviously 11 changes in the starting lineup alone. How much of it is influenced by what you were going to do this week versus what happened against Italy?
yeah, I think not a lot. After I post the game at the press conference and then immediately at the team chat afterwards, that was frustrating. But then you go and look deep into what happened in the game. Not a lot has changed. I think if you ask Mapimpi, most of the guys was playing. There's maybe one or two guys that I don't want to get into that would have played this game, and hopefully we can give them a chance against Georgia. But the changes are more respect for Italy than our performance itself, because we're a very experienced team, and I guess that makes it really difficult for the opposition to play against, but very easy to analyze in terms of how you know the strengths and weaknesses of opposition. Where it's very tough for us to have really see where's there, maybe you know where the players' individual strengths are, but you don't know where the weaknesses are because you haven't played against them before. And now we had one game against them, and the guys who played last week could transfer a lot of knowledge to the guys playing this week. So yeah, I would say 2 or 3 guys who missed out this weekend, but probably get a chance next weekend.
Rassie Vata. How far is sort of Sia? Because obviously the Pablo's game, it was neck, and then last week was the niggle with the Achilles.
Yeah.
Are those injuries any influence to him not being in this?
No, he's Port Elizabeth. We would love to play him, but you just weigh up the positives and negatives of playing him a week early. I guess you could have played last weekend, but having 14 games this year, if you can play 10, that will be awesome. But we're also not expecting guys to play, all of them to play 10, 11 plus. So while we have the luxury of resting him another week, he wants to play in this game. I mean, Pink wants to play in this game. I want to be involved here because we're from here. So it was a tough one. But I think the wise decision is to give him another week because it's really not a serious one. But you know what, Pieter, if you have another week's rest, it can only be better for you. But hopefully next week.
Rassie, a very exciting backline is selected for this week. Canan Moodie at 13 is quite noticeable, and a new 9 and 10 combination. Would you say you want to up the tempo in this match in the second test compared to last week?
Yeah, I must just first get to last week again. We scored 42 points. But 2 tries of them were disallowed and 1 of ours were disallowed. So, to score 42 points, I think you're going to look at the test match last week, and of all test matches played, we scored the most points. And not that that's something to rave about, but our attack wasn't bad. It's just when we're 28-3 up, you could see there was a little bit of relax and thought things would just go easy now, which you don't expect from a team of those amount of caps. So up until halftime, 28-3, just after halftime, tried disallowed, and then it could have been 35, and you could have put them under the pump, and then they really, really played well, and we played really, really not good. So that team didn't attack badly. Damien and Jesse and Kirtley was good. Kirtley and Jesse had the most carries in the last 2 games for us. So the ball went wide, and we scored a scrum try, we scored some physical tries and some cover tries and passing tries. But it's definitely a few players for them. Not a guy like Mapimpi and so on, but they'll know him well. But there will be a few new guys for them to also try and handle. So it's exciting to see the young ones. I wouldn't say they are more of an expansive team than the team that played, because you take Chesney and Kirtley out, and then Jesse and those guys, they can play the game. But yes, exciting for the youngsters and the older guys.
Rassie, just the makeup of that bench, obviously a 5-3, but are we looking potentially at a 6-2 with Andre? And then can you maybe talk about the guys who brought on that bench?
Yeah, I think that, if things go our way, it can be used as a 6-2. But then, because Sasha covers quite a few positions, he covers 10, 15, and 12. I think a guy like Fassi, we had a good chat to him. Fassi and Damien Willems, those guys could have easily been in the mix here. But just to have the makeup of a guy like Ethan who covers for you 12 and 13, then Sasha do just 10 and 15 for you. And then obviously Kubus is a straight swap. And Andre, if you really have to, can move to 6 flank like we use it now. I don't think that's a secret anymore. So yes, it's Kubus is obviously covering lock and loose forward for us. And you on 6 and 8 for us. And then the front row would be obvious with Jan Hendrik covering hooker for us now. So overall, just trying to get into this group, into most of the guys, 2 matches in these 4 matches will be ideal.
Guys, 4 minutes left on blogging. So if anybody has questions for Mapimpi that you want on blogging, please get that. And then we can go on with the other 10 minutes. So does anyone on bloggers have a question for Mapimpi before we switch? No? Okay, you can go on.
Just Rassie, a word on, obviously you're really getting to the 100th. You built up to this one for a while now and spoken about it at length, but just a word on him.
Well, I've played 100 test matches, I'm not sure what his win percentage is in those 100 test matches. I really don't know. But I know there's only 7 or 8 guys that's done that before. So, Willie is an interesting character, and I understand totally that when people, you don't know him personally that well. In the beginning, I didn't know him well at the Stormers, and sorry for this long answer. But I basically said he couldn't make the Stormers squad when he got in there because his emotional involvement in the game, he shows, he's the guy that shows what he feels. And I remember talking once to a coach overseas where he plays, and I said, I don't understand why Willie is doing these actions. And he said to me something that really stuck with me, where he said, because he cares so much. He doesn't hide his emotions. And I think if you talk about Pims or anybody in the team, the way Willie looks sometimes when he's a little bit down or not happy, it's definitely not the reflection of how he feels for the rest of the team. It's just how much he cares for the team. So very happy. I'm definitely made a mistake in the beginning not keeping them at Stormers. And now he's got 100 test matches, man. 2 World Cups. He's done a few things for Wasp, he's played for the Free State, so we're very proud of him, and we hope we can help him to make this one a memorable game.
One from Makazole, good morning from Sky Sports Italy. I read back in the past that you said that in 2027 you would have been maybe too old to make Bravo World Cup. Are you still in the same mind, or maybe this match against Italy is another one to say, okay, maybe I'm still here?
Yeah, of course I'll be old at I think 37. It's kind of a high age at the same time, but honestly I can't promise myself about that. The only thing that I can do now is just to focus on what's going on in front of me, which is can be the Sharks, and also when I'm here in the Springbok, we can get the Springbok. So it's depending also with my board there is on time. So I'm very happy to be here at the Springbok at this stage.
Hi, Rassie. You mentioned that your defense this past weekend was not as you would wanted it to be. What have you noticed was the issue in that game, and have you worked on those things?
Yeah, I thought last week at the press conference they scored 4 tries, there was 3, so I said that wrong. But if you look at the 3 tries, there was nothing that they outsmarted us. It was missed tackles, one-on-one missed tackles, and guys getting momentum, and us just not getting, in our opinion and Jerry's opinion, time to set the line. When we were attacking, they were really competing hard at the breakdown. And like they did in the first 2 Six Nations games, they really manned up physically. Guys like Kevin was tackled back, Lewis was tackled back, and they kept on doing that. So yes, it's frustrating to just concede 3 easy tries like that without being even a man down. But that's something I think which is fixable. So I think we don't have a problem. That was our problem. We know that, and the guys who's playing this weekend hopefully will fix that.
For Makazole, it's very exciting to have you back in the Eastern Cape. Just from your point of view, the emotions, the feelings, coming back to the home fans, playing in Beserings. Saturday? What did it feel like?
I think all of us as a team were very excited to be back here. I think the last time we were here was after COVID, 2001. And also did see the kind of the time around the airport at the same time. And also when we play in PE, the East London, it just hit different because people don't experience what a lot of people experience to the city. It can be sharks, can be storms to the same time. So it's very rare Springbok play here. So I'm sure people are very excited to come in numbers to watch us.